In October 2019, Sky from the Swamp Valley YouTube channel went camping in Landfine Estate in Scotland. It's usually a popular location for walkers, but almost as soon as Sky arrives, he notices something unsettling. He records the entire thing on his phone, and the footage has left his viewers spooked.
This is really freaking me out. Somebody is actually following me, and it's freaky, man. Like, who the hell is that? This can't be on the joke.
Sky is hiking up to a campsite to meet his friends when he suddenly notices someone following behind him. He has no idea who the person is or what he wants, so he quickly heads to a thicker patch of forest and tries to hide.
I'm gonna have to confront him, I think. Just ask him what the hell he's playing at.
The man is heading straight towards where Sky's friends are camping. Fearing for their safety, Sky decides to follow him. After tracking him for a while, the man disappears from sight. So Sky decides to take a break and tries to call his friends. But that's when things go horribly wrong.
Oh, oh, Jesus! Fuck! Hell! Oh! Hell! The Jesus!
As Sky is hiding, all of a sudden, the man appears right above him. Sky sees him and flees in terror, but the man chases him with a flaming torch. He says it was one of the scariest things that's ever happened to him. To this day, he has no clue who the man is, but he has a pretty good idea of what he wanted to do, and it wouldn't have been pretty. Do you have a creepy clip to share? Send your scary footage to our email address, contactmindjunkie@gmail.com, and we might feature it on the channel. Brendan from the YouTube channel Brendan Explores uploaded this next clip saying, quote, "This is the worst camping experience I've ever had. It all began when Brendan took a trip to the picturesque town of Clacton-on-Sea, located on England's southeast coast. Just 2 miles south of Clacton is another coastal town, Jaywick, but the two could not be more different. While Clacton was voted one of Britain's happiest places to live, Jaywick is widely known as the most impoverished town in England. Brendan decides to go and investigate Jaywick, parking his van overnight to see if all the stories about the town are true. At 2:30 AM, he finds out exactly why Jaywick has such a bad reputation.
I think someone's outside the van. +2.
whoever the that was has now gone. I'm gonna get out of here. Oh my god.
Jolted awake in the middle of the night, Brendan is horrified when he hears someone rattling the door handle, but before he has time to react, the stranger smashes his window. According to Brendan, as soon as he shouted, whoever was out there ran off. Brendan and his viewers think it was an opportunistic thief. A quick Google search confirms that Jaywick, where Brendan was camping, has one of the highest crime rates in Britain. As many as 62% of adults in Jaywick are unemployed, and with almost no opportunities in the area, maybe it's no surprise that people turn to stealing to try to make some money. However, Brendan says that although the experience was scary, he has not been put off camping. He'll just be a bit more selective about where he spends the night in future. In the remote Scottish wilderness, there's an old abandoned cabin. The White Lagan was built in the 19th century by a shepherd, but is now used as a bothy, a place where adventurous hikers sometimes spend the night. Ruth Aisling says she's always wanted to stay there, so on a chilly winter day, she decides to hike up to the cabin. But as soon as the sun goes down, things start to take a really creepy turn.
I don't know why I'm feeling a little bit anxious, because I've stayed in a camper van so many times in different countries. I feel like here is just so remote, and to get away, you have to hike like over 1 hour, like to get back to the camper van. So maybe that's why. And also there's no locks. So on my camper van, I always lock the doors. Maybe that's also why. I don't know. Oh God. I'm hearing some strange noises. I don't know if it's maybe a mouse or it's the chimney. It feels really weird without curtains, because I feel like someone could be standing outside and looking in the window. I don't know, I feel really scared. I don't know why. I just feel really nervous. Okay, good night everyone. Last night I was a bit scared. There were some strange noises and I had some earplugs with me, so I put them in to block out the strange noises. God, I'm still hearing weird noises.
Ruth claims to feel scared all night because of strange noises. What she doesn't know is that the White Lagan bothy is said to be extremely haunted. As one viewer says, when they stayed in this bothy, strange things happened at night. They kept hearing noises outside, as though people were outside wanting to come in. His friend went to the door to check, but there was no one there. They searched around the bothy for the people, but they didn't find anything. Once they settled down for the night, they heard the door latch. Thinking it was someone coming in, they readied themselves to greet them, but no one came in. And when they checked the other room, no one was there. Apparently, things like that happened all night for them. They eventually fell asleep, but when they woke up, their rucksacks had been lined up against the room door, and their clothes had all been folded up and placed in neat piles on the table. What's more is that their mugs were turned upside down and placed in front of the piles of clothes, and their cooking stove was disassembled and laid out neatly in front of the mugs. But what really creeped them out was the fact that it couldn't have been anyone, as their rucksacks were blocking the doorway. But that's not all. Several other hikers recorded their creepy experiences on camera at this old bothy.
This will probably be me for most of the night now. I just get my music on, enjoy this beautiful fire, and then get back outside tomorrow in my hammock. I got one of them water filter straws, and it comes with 2 little bags as well, so you can attach the straw to that. But I've not got to you. Oh, maybe this is the guests. There was no one there. I don't know if that's just the people fucking with me or something. I don't know if that's something they do. But I don't think it would be that family. It was just a dad and his daughter and son. Oh well, we'll see. It was just knocking on the door again, and then I went out, but there was no one there, so I don't know what's going on, but I've heard of any haunted bobbies or anything. I've never had weird shit. Fuck's sake. Just wanted a nice little bobby night. If you've watched all my videos before, you know I don't do shit like this. It's gonna be a fun night. I can hear walking around in the other room, and then I go in there, and it just stops. Maybe I just put my music on really loud and forget about it. Cameraman never right. Good morning. Had a bit of an experience last night. Not really sure what was going on. Thought it was just people knocking at the door and running away that were camping nearby, but it didn't seem like that when I went outside. Couldn't really explain what was happening next door with the noises, but I'm not really a believer in ghosts myself. It was a bit creepy, but I'm more of an alien guy. But if you are into ghosts and all that paranormal stuff, these are not the videos for you, because this is not what I do, this is not what I'm about. I'm just a happy hippie, hiking, living in nature, loving the world. I never have anything like this happen to me, so...
Even though this creator says, quote, he's not a believer in ghosts, he can't help feeling scared when he hears mysterious knocking sounds coming from outside the door. But that doesn't even come close to what two other hikers recently experienced during a stormy night.
Found the bothy book. You put my glasses on now to find a bat. So this is popular, quite a popular bothy by the looks of it. Someone actually stayed.
Well, folks, it's probably about 10 minutes after our ordeal with the spooky door closing over there, and we're trying to like rationalise it. I mean, I don't particularly believe in ghosts, and neither does Martin.
No.
So we're kind of thinking that it might have been just like the backdraft of the wind. I mean, there's a storm going on outside, so
Yeah, but I still don't believe it was the wind, but it's the only when the wind's blowing that strong outside, and there's no, I'm not looking at it. It's moving, right? So, I'm honest, I don't know where to go. I don't know where to go.
this can't be right.
I don't.
I'm not.
It's black in here as well. I can't see a thing.
So there's a chair over there, and it just started to move, which is
No way. I'm not even. No.
this is bonkers.
I'm not having any part of this.
That is moving.
Jesus Christ.
It is moving. That chair is moving.
Just leave it. Come out there.
Oh
Come out
Christ! I'm gonna drink some more wine, I think. Christ.
No, that's poltergeist, Paul. That's poltergeist stuff. That's not ghostly.
Which could explain why what these two hikers recorded is more intense. None of these creators are ghost hunters or paranormal enthusiasts, but their creepy experiences at the White Lagoon Bothy definitely left a deep impression. Or is whatever these creators witnessed all just a coincidence? Let me know down below. YouTuber Sean runs a popular camping channel. He often explores some of the wildest, most remote parts of the UK, getting into his van and seeing where his thirst for adventure takes him. However, back in February 2024, Sean took a solo camping trip that left him and his viewers creeped out. After having to get his van repaired and taking a short break from making content, Sean wants to ease back into the swing of things by driving to a quiet spot surrounded by thick forest. But then things take an unsettling turn.
I mean, I am parked on the side of a road. I have parked across from a bit of a clearing. After last week's video where I had a little bit of aggro, I decided this week I'm just going to come out in the middle of nowhere so that I can have a little bit of downtime.
Once Sean's parked up on the side of the road, he goes for a hike into the forest. After walking for a few hours, it starts getting dark, so Sean heads back to the van and signs off for the night. But the peace and quiet wouldn't last for long.
Well, I'll see you in the morning. Good night.
A car's just pulled up, and it sounds like they're walking around the van.
So, I was just woken up because I heard a car pull up, and it was at the front of the van. So I got up, turned my phone on, and filmed. And as soon as I drew the curtains back, they drove off. They got to the end of the road, turned around, and then came back and parked behind the van.
It's 3 AM and Sean is suddenly woken by the sound of a car pulling up right outside his van. He didn't expect there to be any other people at this remote location, especially not in the middle of the night, but Sean hears the telltale sounds of footsteps as if someone is walking around right outside his van. Terrified they might be trying to break in, Sean freezes. He knows he should jump into the driver's seat and get out of there, but he's too scared to move. They eventually leave, but their presence puts Sean on edge, and the next morning, as he is preparing to drive off, Sean makes a terrifying discovery.
My door's stuck. What the actual see that?
Sean discovers that someone has zip-tied his van doors shut, locking him in. He eventually manages to cut the zip ties and get out, but that's when he finds something even more disturbing. Fingerprints all over the exterior of the van. Sean says it seems like whoever had been out there had been trying to get in and zip-tied the side doors to prevent Sean from escaping. However, when they found all the doors were locked securely, they gave up and left. Fortunately, they did not tamper with the back doors or Sean would have been completely trapped. Sean ended the video by saying, "I came here thinking the woods would be the scariest part of the trip, but it's other people that we should really be worried about." This next video was shared to social media by Chris after he encountered something creepy in Yellowstone National Park. Chris loves nature and the outdoors. His TikTok account is full of clips featuring animals and his hikes around natural places. However, in the clip you're about to see, Chris is camping in Yellowstone and is returning late from a long hike. It's already dark and Chris is alone in the remote forest of the national park. He feels a creepy sense of foreboding as he trudges through the dense trees. He knows there are plenty of dangerous wild animals in the area, but Chris is about to encounter something much scarier. What looks like a pair of glowing eyes can be seen staring at Chris from amongst the trees. Chris is frozen in horror, and before we can see if he managed to get away safely, the video abruptly cuts off. No update has been posted since, leaving Chris's viewers to speculate and come up with their own theories about what this might be. Since this encounter took place in North America, several viewers have suggested that it could be a Wendigo. A Wendigo is a supernatural creature from Native American mythology that is said to hunt and eat humans. Terrifying. Other eagle-eyed viewers have pointed out that, if you look closely, the figure seems to resemble a human. A hand can be seen as if the figure is waving, and then two arms appear at its sides. This has led some to theorize that Chris encountered the ghost of a hiker who got lost in the woods. But what do you think? Is this a ghost, Wendigo, or some other kind of paranormal entity? Drop a comment with your thoughts. It's April 2024 and Jesse James is camping in the woods near his home in the United States. Jesse has often heard rumours about the woods. Some say they are haunted by a vengeful spirit, while others think the woods are home to a werewolf or skinwalker. Jesse isn't sure what to believe, so he decides to camp there overnight and see for himself if the rumours are true. Not long after the sun goes down and Jesse has settled into his tent, he starts to hear strange noises. He says it sounds like something growling. Gathering his courage, Jesse steps out of his tent to investigate. This is what he sees.
What the hell is that? What the hell is that, man? Hello? What the hell? Bro, it's got hands. What the hell is that? Oh my god, oh my god. What the hell, man? Where did it go?
Something with glowing eyes can be seen right in front of Jesse. It even seems to beckon to him, as if it wants him to come closer. Jesse tries to hide behind a tree, but when he looks back, whatever it was is nowhere to be seen. Whatever this is, everyone agrees that it's creepy as hell.